Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into a motorhome so rare, so mysterious, it makes your neighbor's limited edition lawn flamingo look mass-produced. Meet the 1974 Dodge DayStar motorhome, a rolling paradox that once screamed luxury but now whispers, "Please don't touch that, it might fall off." Let's roll back to the early 1970s, when America was obsessed with freedom, open roads, and vehicles large enough to carry emotional baggage, physical baggage, and probably a small political campaign. That's where DayStar Motorhomes entered the scene in 1972. The company had a rather unusual mission, not just building RVs, but raising funds for church construction. Yes, this motorhome was basically a holy investment, somewhere between divine inspiration and questionable accounting. Underneath this oddball masterpiece sat a Dodge RM400 chassis, shared with more mainstream RVs like Winnebago. But DayStar didn't want to be mainstream. Oh no, they went big, stuffing in Chrysler's legendary 440 cubic inch V8 engine, which is about 7 liters of pure 1970s optimism. This thing didn't just move, it announced itself. The engine was mounted up front, paired with a traditional rear-wheel drive setup and a heavy-duty transmission built to haul both the vehicle and your life decisions across state lines. Now, here's where it gets weird. Instead of the typical fiberglass body, DayStar used Core 10 steel, the kind that develops surface rust intentionally to protect itself. Basically, this RV was designed to look slightly rusty on purpose, which is exactly the kind of excuse Timmy uses for his entire garage. Dimensionally, the DayStar was massive, stretching over 20 feet, about 6 meters, in length, with a wide, imposing stance and a tall roofline that made it feel like a small apartment on wheels. Fuel economy? Let's just say if you asked Bob, he'd claim it runs on government secrets, because nobody wanted to calculate those numbers honestly. And yet, despite all this bold engineering, what truly made the DayStar unforgettable was what came next, its design. If the engineering of the DayStar Saint-Tropez was bold, the design was unapologetically dramatic. This wasn't just a motorhome, it was a rolling statement piece. The front end looked like it had time-traveled from the 1930s, featuring a rounded, bulbous roofline and a circular grille with concentric slats that felt more Art Deco than interstate practical. It's the kind of design that makes people stare, point, and question reality. A bit like Bob when he explains how Wi-Fi is actually a government mind control experiment. The sweeping side skirts and curved beltline gave the vehicle a streamlined silhouette, almost elegant in a very unusual way. And then you stepped inside, and suddenly it felt like a luxury hotel collided with a yacht showroom. We're talking rosewood paneling, a full-size Norcold refrigerator, teak furniture, and even a proper bathroom with a self-cleaning toilet. In 1974, that was peak civilization. Today, Timmy still considers a bucket and a hose advanced plumbing. The interior layout was designed for comfort and indulgence. 2 power-operated sofas converted into double beds, leather seating wrapped around the cabin, and air conditioning kept things cool, at least until something inevitably broke, as 1970s electronics loved to do. A sunroof added a touch of openness, letting in light, or rain, depending on how optimistic you were about seals and maintenance. Now, compared to competitors like Winnebago or GMC, the DayStar stood in a league of its own, and not always in a good way.
While others focused on practicality and mass production, DayStar chased exclusivity and luxury. The result? A motorhome that was stunning, expensive, and extremely rare, but also difficult to maintain and nearly impossible to justify financially. It's like buying a gold-plated sandwich. Impressive, but you still have to explain it to your bank account.
And speaking of money, here's where reality hits harder than Timmy's third marriage. Back in the mid-1970s, the DayStar Tropez was among the most expensive motorhomes on the market, though exact pricing varied depending on customization. Adjusted to today's value, it would easily sit in the premium luxury segment, competing with high-end RVs that actually, still exist. Fast forward to modern times, and one example surfaced in rough condition with an asking price of around $10,000. Sounds like a bargain, right? Until you realize restoring it could cost more than buying a brand new luxury RV. One unit even appeared at auction overseas, proving that at least a few survivors escaped into the wild, like rare mechanical unicorns, but with more rust. Despite its sad, weathered state today, we have to respect the DayStar. It dared to be different. It combined ambition, creativity, and just a hint of chaos into something unforgettable. This motorhome isn't just a vehicle. It's a story on wheels, a reminder that sometimes the boldest ideas don't last, but they do leave a mark. And to our amazing channel sponsors, yes, you legends who actually support this madness, thank you. Without you, I'd probably be living in something like this DayStar, explaining to Bob why the roof leaks, and to Timmy why we shouldn't fix it with duct tape and beer. So here's my advice. If you ever find a DayStar in a barn, don't panic. Just bring a mechanic, a therapist, and maybe a priest, for historical accuracy.